Damn.
Ouch.
Okay. Looks like we're ready.
Woo!
All right, everyone. Welcome to Sinister Sunday number 4. Thanks for coming and hanging out with all of us. Thank you to my panel once again for joining me to discuss the most recent metal topics. And since it's Halloween in a couple days, we're going to keep it spoopy for you and talk about our favorite, Halloween movies and stuff, what we're going to be doing for Halloween, if anything. Maybe just sitting alone by yourself with the lights out, drinking a beer, who knows, watching a Halloween movie. But if we have time, we're also going to talk about our thoughts on bands that kind of use gimmicks, so masks, face paint, costumes, etc., and maybe even discuss some of our favorite ones or not so favorite ones. But that's what's kind of on the menu for tonight's stream. Hope everyone's buckled up and ready for this. Yeah, so welcome everyone. Feel free to throw in some questions in the chat and we'll see if we can get to them. Also, I'm pretty sure the super chat's available for anyone who really, really wants the question answered. So feel free to throw in a buck and make sure your panelists from the Rebellion here answer your questions. So there's that. I don't think really any of us need too much of an introduction, but if you don't know who my panel is, first off, we have Trez from Total Metal Rejection. Then in the middle, my buddy Lord Husk from Mr. Evil Ops channel, and Jake from Sedition Through Scorns. Love him or leave him, he's here. Because I know, Jake, you've been having some
Issues.
more issues with people just taking a shit on you trying to promote your channel, which I still don't understand. We these channels are, they're our hobbies, but they also have the potential to be kind of a second job or income for you, depending on how far you get. So I don't know. I see it the same way as promoting your band or promoting whatever business you're running. So hopefully they lay off you, and hopefully you start getting some positive, supporters.
Sure hope so.
Yeah, man. So what is everyone going to be doing for Halloween?
I'm gonna get drunk.
Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna get drunk, play Dead Space soundtrack, and I'm gonna eat spooky foods.
Nice. Nice. So like
That's
gummy spiders and like eyeball
yeah,
cookies and stuff.
like chewy rotten intestines, brain goo, slushies, you name it.
Nice. I actually am currently drinking a typical basic bitch drink from Starbucks here. This is the new Witch's Brew. And if anyone hasn't had it yet and who wants to have it, it's not bad. It basically tastes like a strawberry tangerine thing with like these teeny little tapioca balls in it, which I could kind of do without, but it's not bad. Not worth the $8 they charge for it or whatever the fuck, but not bad. Definitely recommend trying it at least.
Well, I will currently be drinking, or in the next couple of days, All Day IPA, which is a campy as fuck, Jason inspired. Watch boobies kill a lot of people. Horror movies, B movies. Next couple of days.
So is that like a lager or an ale or a stout?
IPA, All Day Indian Pale Ale.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
What are you doing for Halloween, bud?
Be honest with you, I'm going to try Captain Spaulding.
You're gonna try and go out as Captain Spaulding? All right, cool.
Definitely, for sure, act like him, and definitely probably watch House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil Rejects.
Fuck yes.
Okay, just to let you know, Austin, you're breaking up a teeny bit, not a lot, but just a teeny bit on my end. So if we have to ask you what a couple of times, that's why.
Fair enough. I don't know why. I got like full bars here, so.
Could be the bit rate. Someone asked if we're seeing the new Halloween movie, or if we plan on seeing it. I've personally already seen it. These guys, I've already asked them before the stream started if they've seen it. They have not. Bunch of slackers, but
Thank you.
they probably do plan on seeing it. If you haven't seen it yet, like I was talking with these guys, if you haven't seen it yet, it's basically like 1 and 2, the original, mixed with Halloween H2O a bit. So if you've seen those, that's basically it, with like 1 or 2 different kind of surprises here and there. It's worth seeing for sure. Like it's better than 4 and 5. It's you know, if you like the Rob Zombie ones, it's probably just as good as the first Rob Zombie one. If you don't like the Rob Zombie ones, then it's better than the Rob Zombie ones.
But it skips the whole timeline, right?
Yes, the 2018 Halloween is the sequel to the very first Halloween. I don't know why they just call it Halloween 2018 or just Halloween. They should have had some sort of subtitle to it. So that's the only thing I don't understand about it. But yeah, it erases all the other timelines, and it's just 40 years after the very first Halloween movie.
Yeah, which I think is probably a good thing.
Yeah, it's not a bad way to like reinvigorate the series. I don't know, they kind of need to explain how an 80-year-old or 50-year-old, sorry, Michael Myers is still able to kick people's asses like he's in his 30s, but other than that, it'll be interesting. And Blumhouse Productions has already greenlit a sequel, so we might be seeing that in 2019 or 2020.
So is this still the same? What do you call it? Star Trek mask.
The the William Shatner mask.
William Shatner mask.
Yeah, it's still a William Shatner mask.
Okay. All right, that's all good then.
Yeah, it's made enough at the box office to warrant them making a sequel, so that's good. I mean, the thing is though, with Blumhouse Productions, they don't waste a lot of money on their movie making either. When they make movie, it's for like anywhere from 5 to maybe $10 million, and they make like hand over fist that back at the box office. Even if it's a flop, they still make their money back because of how low they keep their production values. So kudos to Jason Blum and his team for doing that and finding out ways to keep things down. And that's another thing, like all these fucking actors wanting millions of dollars to play in these movies, and all these studios spending $200, $300, $400, $500 million to make a movie. This is why we have to pay like $20, $21 for a ticket at the movies. If they would stop spending so much on the production, they wouldn't have to charge us so much to see the movie at the theater. And of course, the theater has to charge us money to keep the theater open, and that's why you go up to the concession stand and your popcorn's $5, and your fucking extra large drink is like $9, and that little teeny bag of Skittles is worth like fucking $4 or $5 too, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to keep their thing in business, because the studios take money from the ticket sales and they only get like maybe like a 5 or 10% cut of that. And Grant. Sorry, I'm kind of a huge movie fan and buff when it comes to stuff like that. I like to look into how things work about, in the field, because one day, knock on wood, I would actually like to be in like acting and directing and producing and stuff like that, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
Well, I think that that we all love metal. I think we have an idea at least on how horror movies. Like I always had this one gripe that when I went to go see Hellboy 2, and I did see the trailer for Hellboy 2, which happened to be fucking Dimmu Borgir. And I was like, oh shit, finally, fucking metal being incorporated in fucking horror movies. And when I went to go see the movie, no. So, um, what would be the one fucking genre of music that you guys would like to see in fucking horror movies?
Well, the one that makes most sense would be like death metal. People dying, death metal kind of works.
Any particular song that you would like fucking associate with any particular movie you love, I guess?
I don't know. Like I could probably see the Saw series, or maybe like if they bring back the Friday the 13th series, I could see them incorporating maybe some like death metal in the background here and there. The Saw series are for like the new wave of like edgy horror lovers anyway, because it's basically torture porn.
Basically.
Not saying that I don't like the Saw series. I actually love the Saw series, and the latest one, Jigsaw, was pretty enjoyable.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I mean, it wasn't like the best thing since sliced bread, but like it was pretty enjoyable for what that series is.
Yeah. It's not as captivating compared to the original or my personal favorite, which is Saw 4, which is the most gruesome Saw in the entire franchise. And um, I like to see more, like you said, more death metal kind of like samples here and there, but I also like to see some Death Doom, like Asphyx or even Acid Witch. Acid Witch would be a fucking perfect band to be
Acid Witch.
featured in a horror film because their sound is so very psychedelic and doomy. It would create the atmosphere to make the listener be really interested in the vibe of the movie.
Yeah, like a movie that I just went to see is called Mandy with Nicolas Cage, awesome shit. Which had session guitarist from Sun O, I believe it's called.
Son,
Yeah,
they're from my home
and
state.
but yeah, it's fucking the atmosphere that it creates is so fucking good, and yeah, definitely recommended to, especially now, because it has a lot of nod to Hellraiser in that movie, and just Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's so fucking good, and is legit Nicolas Cage in this fucking prime. Because if you know that Nicolas Cage is fucking so exaggerated, but in this movie it makes fucking sense that he's that way, and it's so fucking good.
With
Especially those dark, evil guitar tones that are just like ambient, like sun, and it just sounds so fucking good. And like I said, some sort of black metal, Dark Fortress in some sort of the Hereditary or whatever that fucking movie was would have been so fucking good to listen to as a backdraft.
You mean Hereditary?
Hereditary, yeah.
Yes.
Nice. I actually got that on DVD a while back.
Outstanding movie.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I did a horror movies to watch or avoid with that in it.
Well, the whole movie was cut like 2 hours short, and it's a fucking long ass movie. So I think if you watch the whole thing, it would make more sense. But again, if you like a lot of fucking death metal and black metal, having some sort of backdraft background to that movie would have made so much fucking sense and would have filled you even more in the sense of dread. And death metal and metal in general has a, even like Annihilator, Alice in Hell, has a way of immersing you to whatever subject matter in whatever movie. It could be Labyrinth. If you had Alice in Hell in Labyrinth, it would have made fucking sense, and it would have been like, holy shit.
Yeah, I could see that. Yep. Well, the whole point of music in movies is to kind of connect the audience with the mood, or how the characters are feeling at the time, right? So if there's like a really anxious or stressful scene, like you could use different metal bands in that way, or if there's like a suspenseful, like eerie thing, you could use some, like you said, funeral doom or something like that. Someone fucking made me laugh on the chat here. They're like, I want to see some NSBM in the next Pokemon movie. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow. I think that would be a pretty hard sell, but yeah.
Yeah.
I could see David Bowie in Labyrinth. Could you?
Really?
Could you see David Bowie in Labyrinth? Man, that's a stretch.
Yeah.
You know what I could do without in the Labyrinth? David Bowie's bulge.
Yes.
I could do it like that.
Yes. It was like, oh, dude. It was like,
It's like front and center the whole time.
yeah.
Oh man. So, I don't think I answered what I'm doing for Halloween. Well, I'm a dad, so as you'd expect, me and the wife are going to be taking the kids out around the townhouses, probably near the lake, because there's a bunch of townhouses down there. The wife used to live down around that area, so we're probably going to hit about 40 or 50 houses, loot home a bunch of free candy. Give the kids about 10% of it. No, kidding. Fuck that. Go into a diabetic coma if we did that, but no. So that's probably what we're doing, just taking the kids down there and trick-or-treating. I spent way too much money on a Joker costume this year, so I'm going to be going as like a mix of like Heath Ledger and Jared Leto's Joker. I know.
Oh, nice.
The green hair is kind of useful for that, so don't have to wear a wig. But yeah, it should be fun. And then probably just coming home and watching some horror movies, put on some, Goosebumps or whatever for the kids in their room because they got their own TV. Spoiled brats.
Are you talking about the one with Jack Black?
Actually, we took them to see that Tuesday. It wasn't bad, but the funny thing is, the Jack Black doesn't appear until like the last 10 minutes of the movie, and when he shows up, spoiler alert, but when he shows up, he's not even needed. The kid's already solved the fucking thing, and he says that. He's like, oh, well, I guess you don't need me. Deuces. And then he walks off. You're like, what the fuck?
Wow.
But I heard why they did that, though. Like, Jack Black wasn't even scheduled to be in Goosebumps 2, Haunted Halloween. He had some other thing he had to do, the house with the clock in its walls, which I actually kind of want to see. But
looks pretty good.
Yeah? All right, cool.
I definitely want to see it myself.
He wasn't scheduled to be in the second Goosebumps one, so he had some time off just at the end of shooting, so he appeared for the scenes that he appeared in, just because he wanted to be in it. And neat little trivia, the Slappy doll is actually voiced by Jack Black in the first film, but not in the second one. But it's a guy that sounds almost exactly like him, so that's weird.
That's good to know, actually.
Yeah.
And not to mention, too, he's actually working new music for his band Tenacious D, which I cannot wait.
That'll be like, what, the 4th album?
Yeah.
Man.
In like 12 years or so.
Yeah. New Tenacious D would be cool, considering Rise of the Phoenix only had like 3 good tracks on it. And I'm like, damn, because the album before that had the movie to go along with it was really, really good and kind of funny. So yeah. And
Pick of Destiny.
Yeah. And speaking of Pick of Destiny, hopefully they're still considering doing a sequel to that. Because I
hope so.
they've been talking about it forever, but there's no movement on it, so we'll see.
Anyone who doesn't fuck with Kickapoo, you're dead to me.
Kickapoo's awesome. Especially that scene with him as a kid, just like pissing off the dad. Too funny.
And then Ronnie James Dio comes out of the poster.
Yeah.
Great movie, by the way.
So good.
Hey, Azag.
What up, guys?
Hey, what's up? Guys?
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Living the dream.
You didn't miss much. We're talking about Tenacious D and Jack Black and how Jesse took his kids for a Halloween event today.
Oh, nice. Have you guys watched the Tenacious D cartoon that they've been making?
No.
The cartoon?
Yeah, they're doing it on YouTube only. It's like all drawn by Jack Black. It's terrible animation, but it's pretty fucking funny.
I'll have to check it out.
The album's actually, there's a song in each episode, and that's how they're making the album.
Fair enough.
I'll look into that.
Yeah, same. That sounds cool. And hey, I see that in the chat. Jack Black is funny. I don't care what you say. He's funnier than Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler hasn't been funny since fucking Billy Madison.
I agree.
And now he's trying to do these films where he's actually trying to be serious in it. Sorry, not buying that either.
I think the last good Adam Sandler film that I saw was Billy Madison.
Well, it's like that and Happy Gilmore. Why else would the fuck would you watch Adam Sandler on purpose?
Waterboy.
Waterboy was great.
Oh yeah, okay. But then that's also got Fairuza Balk in it too. So
Yeah. He was also
I
in
don't
Little Nicky.
I was gonna say, Little Nicky was funny too. They funny thing is they started using. I think there was one part of the movie they actually used "When Worlds Collide" by Power Man 5000.
Oh yeah.
really
Yeah.
cool.
When I think brother overtakes their father to become king, which I'm a huge fan of fucking Power Man 5000 as well. So
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like their first
if
two albums.
if you're a fan of Rob Zombie, you always gotta be a fan of Power Man 5000.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Power Man 5000 is kind of like a little more rappier, kind of influenced version of Rob Zombie, basically.
I don't think I've ever heard Power Man 5000.
No?
You probably know them if you heard Bombshell off the Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack.
Or When Worlds Collide.
Well, the only word when worlds collide I know is from Crowbar. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a
They
different
did a
song
cover.
of
They did a
Crowbar?
cover. I forgot what band. No, it was from another band, but called Relax. It's off of the.
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah.
apparently did it for Zoolander. I think it was called. If not, somebody actually did a music video for it. So
No, that sounds familiar. I think I heard it.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry. Sorry. On that note, I gotta go pee.
Yeah.
More.
So
Sure.
Azak, since you're now with us in the crew, Jesse wanted to know what you're going to be able to do for Halloween. Are you going to dress up, and what are you planning on doing for Halloween, since this is the theme for today's stream?
Right. Well, this year I've actually got to work all day on Halloween, so I'm not going to do a whole lot. But we're actually going to celebrate our stuff tomorrow. We always try to throw like a big Halloween party and bring a bunch of people over. Luckily, where I live now, this neighborhood's very pro-Halloween. So I know where I used to live, we used to get the cops called on us when we decorate like real crazy. But this one's pretty good. And there's actually going to be like a whole block party going on tomorrow with everybody dressed up. So it should be pretty sweet. Other than that, we're just going to lay around and watch horror movies and drink some beer, probably.
Nice.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah, so did you guys hear that whole stupid New Brunswick Canadian Halloween fiasco where people over the age of 12 are going to be charged if
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've
That's
heard about
stupid.
that. It's stupid as hell.
Yeah, that's no one's going to fucking adhere to that law, and I'm pretty sure no police officer in their right mind is going to try and enforce that. Like, no kid under 16 is going to have ID to prove their age. So how the fuck are you going to charge them? They could just be like, oh, I'm 11. Or, oh, I'm 12.
Yeah.
You know? And what are you going to do? Just go around and start unmasking like thousands of teenagers? Good luck.
I don't know, man. I love Halloween. I don't care if you're 70 years old. As long as you got a costume on, I'll give you some damn candy. I don't care.
Fuck yeah, bud.
Maybe I gotta go. Maybe I gotta go over to your house then. But just don't be worried if you have a Captain Spaulding guy point a gun at you.
Nice. Did I miss that?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna dress up as Captain Spaulding.
Oh, hell yeah.
You may or may not say "fuck your grandma."
No, I'd be using the whole quote. I'm using the whole fucking quote.
Fuck your sister.
Fuck your mother.
Fuck your mama. And most of all, fuck you. Oh, I love that fucking shirt.
Speaking of which, I can't wait to see 3 from Hell.
Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. That would be an interesting one.
I'd like to know how the fuck they survived getting shot a million times, but hey.
Honestly, they probably survived it somehow.
Well, they kind of have
But I know they had to kill a character off because the actual actor who played as Tiny passed away. And that was like, what, fucking 2005 he did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, the little person with the giant mask.
He wasn't little. He was a tall motherfucker.
Wait, who am I thinking of? Oh, that really tall one. Okay.
The one who is very shy, didn't talk much.
Yeah, okay. I'm thinking of a different character. Never mind.
The one that everyone respected. Weird.
Yeah.
But no, he was a good actor. It's sad that he's gone.
Yeah, it sucks. Would have been interesting to see him in the next one, too.
I think, going off topic a little bit, I think Otis, them changing him from like being clean faced to having that beard makes him look intimidating. But honestly, I think he's more aggressive in The Devil Rejects than he was in The House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, well, the House of a Thousand Corpses one, they're trying to be more like creepy and weird with him, whereas Devil's Rejects are trying to be more violent and aggressive with him.
Did you guys ever check out Cradle of Fear?
Yeah. I've got that back here on the shelf, actually.
Oh yeah.
I seen that when I was like 19, and I had no idea what the fuck was going on, so I just sold it.
It was pretty good, actually. The maybe not portrayed as perfect that it should have been, but the concept was pretty cool. Like, how would you go to a sick form of mind? How far would you go to look for something, at least online back in the day, and to the point that you get trapped into your own fucking sickness? I think that's pretty fucking awesome. The concept of it. Maybe the delivery was like, meh, but it was pretty cool topic.
Yeah, I'll probably one day watch it again just to see if anything clicks with me for it. But I think the main draw was the fact that Danny Filth was one of the characters in it back when I actually gave a shit about Cradle of Filth.
No, I'm definitely going to watch that movie now.
Well, that's when Cradle of Filth was like probably its peak.
Yeah.
I guess. But as far as horror movies and metal goes, what would be your metal music for this fucking month, I guess? Or
Ooh, I can tell you right now, 2 of them. Actually, 3 of them, correction. This is off the Millennium Collection of Rob Zombie, which is basically House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil Rejects, and The Lords of Salem.
Yep, that's pretty good. I'd say Ghoul, Axe Slasher, and Misfits. Even though they're punk. But they're horror punk, so.
Doesn't matter.
I say...
Damn it, now you got me thinking.
I say Acid Witch, Draconian, My Dying Bride, maybe Zaster, even though they're like atmospheric, depressive black metal, and even Ghost Bath, I would say, would be like a very nice fitting for the movie since it's very sorrowful and, not knowing what the fuck the singer is saying because it's all screams. That's what I would go with.
I'd like to go with more of the raw symphonic black metal like Nargrov stuff like that. I think they're really good. And by Feeble Savior, stuff like that, I think would go pretty good in a horror film.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely be some mortician in there somewhere.
Everyone's favorite death metal meme band.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is funny because when Jesse mentioned Misfits, I was like, damn, he's got me thinking of Doyle now. Actually, matter of fact, some of Doyle's songs are like horror. There's ones called Blood on the Axe, Mark of the Beast, Run for Your Life. That's a great music video. Definitely watch that.
Dead Girls.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Which is actually funny because Jesse, you missed one hell of a good goddamn concert.
Oh, probably.
Let's just say it this way. Alex Story is a funny motherfucker. Straight up funny. Every new song they make, they start playing. He's like, "Oh, this next song's a love song. If you want to dance to it, go right ahead." It's just like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was gonna say it probably makes good for some mid between song banter.
But yeah, dude, I wish Shari was in here so I could tell him about that. But yeah, if you guys have not heard Doyle, definitely check them out. They're a great band.
Yeah, and if you like that kind of stuff, check out Dr. Living Dead, I think.
Oh, I'll definitely check it out.
They're also like a no wait,
Horror punk.
not Dr. Living Dead. Dr. Living Dead's a fucking thrash band. I'm thinking of Dr. Chud's X Ward.
Oh yeah.
Mm. I will definitely check them out.
True. So, well, we pretty much covered all the Halloween stuff. Unless you want to talk about some of your favorite Halloween movies, and then we'll move on to the metal gimmicks.
That'd be good.
Austin, too much breathing into the microphone, bro.
I'm sorry. Does that help?
Let's just be thankful that we can actually hear Trez for once in the stream.
Fuck yes. Oh yeah.
I don't have to hug my laptop and be listening. People don't get a close shot of my inner ear,
Because I am, like I was telling Lord Husk and Jake, I am fucking vested in my whole aspect of it. So I got now a nice little headset with a fucking legit microphone. So yeah.
No, it sounds nice, clear, crisp. Good stuff, man.
Now you could hear all my fuck ups.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're talking about metal gimmicks as in masks and shit like that, corpse paint and all that other good shit.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, if you guys maybe want to talk about what are some of your favorite horror movies first before we move into that.
Well, for one thing, for me at least, would be Jason and Hellraiser. Because Jason is the ultimate zombie. If you would really think about it, he's been fucking resurrected, been everything you associate a zombie being to this. Because I know zombies are fucking in now, but Jason would have been everything. And obviously Hellraiser because of the demons and shit.
Yeah, Hellraiser's pretty badass. They really need to start making some modern Hellraiser stuff, especially with the computer graphics they have nowadays, like they could really pull off some crazy shit, especially diving into the hell realm and like you know.
You know, it was a good spin-off of that movie was The Djinn. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that movie.
No.
Not me.
Oh, I
Sounds
mean,
familiar.
Wishmaster, I think it was called.
Oh yes,
Oh
yes,
yeah,
yes.
Wishmaster.
Yeah, Wishmaster and The Djinn, fucking awesome.
For me, The Conjuring, Sinister, Hills Have Eyes, Rob Zombie's Halloween, the first two Halloweens. I really enjoyed the first three Resident Evil live action films. Their other ones can suck a dick.
Oh,
The Saw trilogy, and I really liked Annabelle. I thought they're pretty unique for what it was. Sinister, Mama is also really good. And also Alien. I gotta add my love for Alien, even though it's a horror franchise. I have to include it.
What franchise was it?
Alien.
Oh, now you're in the sci-fi. You're in that sci-fi horror.
Yeah,
I'm a huge Alien fan.
yeah, which is the only legit video game that I own for at least 2 or 3 years now that I will not open, and I do own, but I will not play that shit because Aliens freaks me the fuck out.
Don't.
Besides any other sci-fi movies, Event Horizon would be one of them, and I'll come back to the other one. Yeah.
So you don't like aliens implanting you with eggs and bursting through your chest?
Nah,
You have a weird way of putting shit, Jesse.
Well, that's what they do.
No, oh, I know. I watched the series. Remember? I haven't watched the one where the alien pregnant women.
Yummy.
Oh shit!
Delicious.
Actually, it's pretty terrifying because instead of one, there's like 5.
5 aliens, 3 holes. You do the math.
If you really want to be terrified, go listen to Magakali from Taiwan. They're a Death-based inspired brutal death.
I fucking love them, Maggie Connolly.
I do too.
Awesome.
Good friends with them on Facebook.
Awesome shit.
So then you'd probably like the Species films then too.
Yeah, I do. I grew up with it.
The Thing was fucking awesome. I love the fucking Thing.
The movie, The Thing?
Yeah, of course.
Actually, Jake, have you actually seen Alien Covenant before?
Yes.
Okay, screw the Alien. I have to say the Xenomorph is the worst death thing. Because that thing doesn't break out of your chest. That thing breaks out of your back, anywhere.
Brutal.
Pretty gruesome.
So it's like the cover.
Basically, from what I heard, they're going to replace the Xenomorphs with them. Which is going to kill the franchise immediately.
Yeah.
Because I'm a diehard fan of Xenomorphs. The second they remove them, it's time I stop watching.
Yeah, I have a problem with that too. So, no.
What's weird about the Neomorphs, they're more human than... They're not like Xenomorphs. They're not like attack on sight. They have to feel threatened to attack, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned the Puppet Master series. That wasn't terrible, but I'm not really the biggest fan of it. I think we actually own like a box set of a couple of the films, but I don't know. Once you've watched one, you've pretty much watched them all.
I think everybody owns a box set of the Puppet Master.
There's one part in one of the Puppet Masters. I don't know which one it was, but basically there's like a Nazi regime going on, and they're brought to Germany or something like that. And the one German soldier is like getting pissed off about being told what to do or whatever. I can't what it is, but he's like next to the Führer's car, and he's like bitching to himself. He's like, "Prepare the guns, prepare the car, prepare your anus," and then he just like shakes his head and drives off. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, there's that. I don't know why that part stuck with me, but I always died when I saw that part.
Jesus Christ. Talking about fucked up films, huh?
Well, I just find it funny because there's, that saying you see everywhere. Everyone's like, "Oh, prepare your anuses for the new, this album, or prepare your anus for that." Like, and then the guy says this in like an old '80s film. So I'm like, ha.
It's like all hail the new Flesh from Fear Factory.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Jake, you got pretty good taste there with the
Thank you.
the Conjuring and Sinister and Insidious and all that stuff.
Yeah, the first two. I also like the first two Paranormal Activities. The rest of them suck.
Yeah,
in my
Second one.
personal opinion.
the first two are pretty good. There's parts in like the other movies that are pretty cool, but for the most, yeah, it's kind of eh. They kind of stretched it on for too long.
They're way too predictable.
Well, there's only so many jump scares that you can, watch without going, "Oh, here's one. Oh, there's one." That's why the old school horror movies were the best, because they built tension and they made an evil atmosphere, and it took a bit to get the audience like invested in the characters, and then in the last part of the film, it's just consistent action and murders.
That's I think what the whole connection is with sorry, horror movies and old school death metal is. If you listen to early Hypocrisy and listen and watch The Omen, it's like, holy shit.
Oh yeah, The
That's
Omen.
yeah, man. The Omen
Great
and
film.
obviously Obsculum Obscenum and that whole fucking old school death metal shit was like Sinister, fucking Gutted. Old school bands that brought you this fucking dread and this occult shit, which was fucking awesome when you go look at bands or look at movies. The Exorcist, The Omen, brought this whole deicide, fucking Legion, Satan spawned a cockroach demon, Dead by Dreaming, fucking occult shit, and having that in movies as well as pretty much on par at the same time that these movies came out was fucking awesome to witness at the time. So the hell yeah, man.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty good accompaniment with like the old school horror movies and the old school death metal, kind of growing side by side with each other. Definitely a easy way to empty your wallet.
What's everyone's favorite horror movies? I already done mine.
Oof. Well, mine's similar to yours with the Alien franchise.
Hell yeah.
I have to say the Saw franchise has grabbed my attention. Trying to think what else.
So you like psychological or mystery horror, where you're kind of having to see if the victims or the law enforcement can figure out who the killer is.
And definitely Jason's franchise. Actually, hopefully they can make a franchise out of Freddy vs. Jason. I would love to see that.
I would too.
Because at the first ending, the first one that ended, it just showed Freddy never fucking died. So I honestly believe that they're making another one. You know what will also be interesting? Again, every killer like Pinhead, the puppet from Jigsaw, Leatherface, Leprechaun, one horror film.
So basically, like a horror film version of Mortal Kombat.
I would fucking buy
Worse.
that. I would
Yes, but
fucking
worse.
buy that. Are you kidding me?
To me, the franchises that could be one whole franchise could be Hellraiser and I know it wasn't a franchise; it was only one movie, but Event Horizon. Event Horizon was pretty much Hellraiser, and I love the whole sense of horror movie versus sci-fi. I know you had sci-fi with aliens, but the whole, if you guys are gamers, if you guys like Doom, you know where I'm going with Event Horizon and fucking obviously Hellraiser. So that will be my ultimate. If you were to add fucking Jason into it, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And it's funny you mentioned that because Event Horizon is probably one of my favorite sci-fi horror films ever.
Fucking love that movie.
It's just so good, and Sam Nielsen plays a fantastic good guy, losing his mind, becoming a bad guy, that like Hellraiser looking version of himself at the end, fucking amazing, and just the concept of them going across the universe and opening a tear in reality so that like hell could start seeping through.
Just like Doom.
Yeah, it just sounds like
Yeah.
an awesome direction that they could take a series of films. Be like, film one starts off sort of like Event Horizon, this scientific team, whether it's on Earth or on Mars or on the moon or in just a spaceship, rips tear in reality, and then
or like Dead
hell
Space
starts coming through, and then that
Mm-hmm.
you build on that in the second and third film.
Yeah. It's just like this.
I know this is complete. Right. I was gonna say I know this is complete off topic, but I just realized something on my Xbox. Apparently, somebody's happy to see me tonight.
What is that? The 666 thing? Is that views or?
No, that's gamer score, but because I have 3 6s, it means somebody's been watching my ass a little bit. I definitely gotta take a picture of that and send it to my friend because he's into that type of stuff.
Okay.
It's good to see.
To be honest with you, that's very rare because that's never happened to me before until tonight.
Must be a
Damn it!
lucky
I
day.
knew he was watching me.
I'm gonna go take a
Problem.
piss. Yay.
He broke the seal. I told him he's going to be pissing every 5 minutes.
What about you, Azag, for favorite horror franchises?
I'll have to go probably the original Evil Dead films. Like those are some of my favorites.
Nice.
Actually wearing the Evil Dead shirt today, rocking that one.
Hey, one of the best.
Definitely Hellraiser. It's funny. I was actually just listening to the vinyl that a while ago, so I got it sitting out and put that shit away.
Classic.
Yeah, other than that, definitely Friday the 13th. The entire Exorcist franchise. I enjoyed all those films. I even liked the TV show wasn't bad either.
No, it's actually pretty good.
It was pretty good. Aside from that, it's not really franchises, but I like all the 70s, Bela Lugosi, Vincent Price kind of stuff. All that stuff is awesome to me. I like that old black and white, just grim shit.
What about Poltergeist?
Poltergeist, the original was pretty good. I didn't care for the remake, but yeah, the old ones were pretty tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that creepy old guy from the second one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Kind of reminds me from the guy from Phantasm a little bit. That one wasn't bad.
Sure. Someone mentioned the film You're Next. That was actually pretty good.
I haven't seen it.
Seen that. I have it somewhere. It'd probably take me forever to find it, though. So many horror movies, man. But yeah, I actually have that one. It's pretty good. It's there's a couple of twists in it that you're not really expecting, and some of the kills are pretty decent. There is another film that's really cool too. It's basically a bunch of people that has to sit around this table and choose would they rather do this or do that, and then they've got like I think
Truth or Dare.
No, it's not Truth or Dare. I think it actually is called Would You Rather. And there's like I said, there's a bunch of people sitting around the table, and then they got 3 minutes to decide whether they're going to do what they're doing or the person beside them has to do it, and it's like even worse or something. But yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's doesn't have a series or sequel or anything like that. Wrong Turn was a pretty decent series though. Like some of the kills in Wrong Turn was like gruesome.
I'm gonna go grab another beer, but I'll slow mo plug the Evil Dead franchise while I get up here for you. There you go. Check that out.
Horror movie I want to go see because it was out when I went to go watch the Meg was Slender. That one looks like a pretty tense horror film. If you guys don't know who the creepypasta is, that's just gonna be harder to explain. Jesse, you know about Slender Man, right?
Yep, I have a Slender Man movie somewhere. I'm not sure what it's called though.
Yeah, there's a new one already out. There's one in the movie theaters right now. I've been wanting to go.
Yeah, I think I've seen advertisements for that. It looked okay. There's like this one scene where like the chick's got like centipedes like crawling on her face or something for like a second.
Yeah.
Bugs. I'm not a big fan of bugs.
You're not a big fan of snakes either.
Nope.
I don't like snakes.
Yeah, pictures of the snake. I sent them to you.
Have you ever seen Slither?
Yes, I have. I hated that film.
I think I've seen it, but I don't think I own it, which is a big mistake on my part. I need to rectify that.
Awesome fucking movie.
Isn't that directed by James Gunn?
I don't fucking know, but I know that movie is fucking awesome. and like every single slam brutal death metal band cover you would come across, Slither is like right there somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
You know what band would be fucking cool to have in a would be a Possessed Entity. That would actually be a fucking unique band to have in a horror movie. What do you guys think?
Possessed Entity in a possession movie.
Yes.
Little too on the nose.
Yes. Because when I first heard Possessed Entity, they were like an old school brutal death metal sound.
Yeah, it's like
the guy's vocals was pretty intense.
Yeah, old school brutal death metal.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Don't they sound a bit like Defleshed and Gutted?
Some ways.
Or am I thinking of another band? Fuck, there's so many brutal death metal bands out there.
I was referring to the band Disfigurement of Flesh. That could be.
Yeah.
They're great. Aren't they also somewhat related to Trauma, Tommy? Or
yes,
Yeah.
in the same vein of that style. Yeah, another great brutal death metal band. I think they're working on a new album.
I think they got same members. I don't know if it's the same duo of guys or if it's like one of the dudes from Trauma Tommy is in Disfigurement of Flesh.
Yeah, at least from what I recall.
Yeah.
Oh, Disfigurement of Flesh had this whole fucked up controversy that I don't know if we should get into because it's a whole shit between Tub Lord of Sickness Records, I believe, or something like that.
Tub of Lard?
Tub of Lard.
Yeah, Tub of Lard Sickness or something like that. But they have this whole fucking beef going on right now that's like fucked up. If you guys are interested, just go check them out. But then you'll hear this whole fucking drama about them, and it's fucked up. Very fucked up.
That's what happened with Lacerated Enemy Records a couple years back. and a lot of people lost their momentum because they were scamming the Bandcamp profits and band sales, which the band never agreed to on their terms, which I think is wrong.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's happening now with the Flesh and Gutted and their whole deal and the original record label now to the other Lords of Sickness records, I think it's called. But
Yeah.
it's very fucked up, and depends on which camp you choose to support. It's a fucked up situation.
It
Nine,
is.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, I'd probably support the band.
Yeah, same.
Because normally the band doesn't normally have anything to gain from causing drama. It's normally it's normally, if there's any drama made, it's normally because the record label has done something sketchy. Like, you guys know how I've got that Torturous Endevilment EP out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Dave, my guitarist and drum programmer for the project, he got his 100 copies of the 500 that got made, but I still haven't got mine. Like, they haven't shipped me mine, and they're like, "Oh, it's too expensive to ship them to Canada." So I'm like, "But we have a signed contract with you saying that Dave gets 100 copies and I get 100 copies, and that's our payment for releasing it on your label." So, and the guy Danny from Roommate Records hasn't got back to any of my messages or anything like that. So I doubt I'm ever going to see my 100 copies that I'm owed. The only reason I have 30 copies is because Dave sent me 30 copies out of the goodness of his heart to make up for the fact that our record label is screwing us for that EP. So, oh, well, not us, but screwing me because they don't want to ship to Canada because it's too much money.
That's
Even though they knew when we signed up with them that I lived in Canada, because that was part of the contract, is I had to give them over my name, my address, my phone number, and a bunch of other stuff like that before there was anything signed or anything like that. And I've got printed up signed copies of the contract, but since they're from India or wherever the fuck they're from, they're like, nope, sorry. There's no way I could get any lawyers to do anything about it, and the amount that it would cost me to do anything about it wouldn't be worth it anyway. So, yeah, definitely look at your contracts and definitely look at where you're dealing with when it comes to record labels is what I suggest to bands. If the record label isn't in the same, country or continent as you probably shouldn't sign with them, because they'll probably just be like, "Oh, it's too expensive to ship to you. Sorry."
It's funny that you should mention that because I had some fucked up shit happen like that one time. I gave my consent to use my riffs in a song for a band and a label, and to get the recognition for that took forever and actually never fucking happened. So that's why all the riffs that I do from now on and from that point on, I don't give a shit. I just post them online and say just take them because to try to get that whole legit part of a riff done for a band, we ended up being enemies at the end point of it, even though I didn't want to be that part into it because I'm like, I'm reporting to you guys as long as um share the riff. I don't give a shit. But when it came down to logistics and politics and money, it became so fucking fucked up that I was like, at the end of it, I was like, just fucking take it. So all the riffs that I post online and on Facebook or whatever I post, and then like I do it just fucking take it because I don't, if it had to go through all this, it's not worth it. And it's not worth it to make a riff for anything. I'm not trying to make a riff for just to boast it out there. But if someone likes my riff, they can fucking take it. as long as I don't have to go through that bullshit anymore.
So what you're saying happened is you agreed to write a riff for a band, or you already had a riff written and a band liked it and offered you some royalties for it, but never paid you the royalties for it.
Not royalties, but more like, we're doing this as a whole collaboration, and that I would be a contributor to this band. Like, you know how they say lyrics from this band, from Glenn Benton, or lyrics from Glenn Benton, songs from this, whatever person. And I was like, all right, as long as you do that, whatever. But, nothing ever happened. And it was uh, an agreement in the beginnings of it that it would happen. And, at the end of it, I was like, this is much more than I care to. I want none of it. And it's
So,
so fucking toxic. It's just, I don't want none of it.
so you contributed a musical part to a collaborative effort with the presumption and agreement that they would credit you for it, and they didn't.
Not just like, go credit, give me credits or whatever. It's like, you know what? We're gonna do this as a. I had my own thing going on. They had their own thing going on. There's gonna be a whole collaboration between my one solo project and their solo project.
Right.
And when it came down to it, it's like they just took the riff and nothing ever happened. Like, here you go. And at the same time, I was like, yeah, whatever, fuck it.
So you were expecting either credit or payment for your contribution, and they never did that.
Not payment, but at least more like when I got the CD, because I did get the CD. It was like all music by this band. I'm like, really? It's like a whole half of this album or the riffs were like by me. So I'm like, all right, whatever.
Man, that's fucking balls. They got some brass balls for not giving you the credit.
Oh well. I don't know. That was like years ago, so I was fucking probably naive back then. But yeah.
Oh man, if anything like that, I'd want like some sort of written consent passed on if I wanted credit for it, and I would make sure I have a second witness in the party to collaborate that this is what was supposed to happen. But yeah, but when you're young, you don't really think of that. You're just hoping people are going to take it on faith and live up to their good word that they're going to do this thing. And sometimes you get sketchy people, scumbag musicians that just don't care and don't follow through with what they promise. Yeah, so I feel you, man. This whole thing with Roommate Records is kind of pissing me off. I'm once again have to thank Dave for the 30 copies that I even have of something that I spent months working on and recording, and taking time out of my busy schedule to put an effort into making, and then them basically just taking 300 copies of what I'm working on and selling it and making the money for themselves. Like, I'm not getting any money from anything sold at Roommate Records. The only money I make is from the 30 copies I get, thanks to Dave. So, like, he had to take a cut of his just so that I could be somewhat compensated for my work.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah, that's why I suggest anyone watching this don't sign up for Roommate Records in the future. That's coming straight from Jesse Slammarella. And make sure if you do sign with the record company that they're either in your country or at least in your continent. So when they go to ship you your copies of it, they don't have the excuse of, oh, it's too costly to ship overseas. Or just, do everything yourself, but then that costs money. Like, how much is it now for like Canadian or American pressing of like 200 to 500 CDs of a band? Like $1,000?
Well, I think now it's more a tad more easier, but back in the day, so fucked up because
Well, Trez, say you make an album, maybe you got 12 songs on a CD, and you name it, total, innard
rejection.
rejection or whatever, right? And you make 12 songs, and you want to get, let's say 200 CDs made up for your project. Like, how much would you say do you think that would cost you if you went to like a production company in the States where you're living?
Shit.
Like, because they're going to charge you so much per unit, right? And then you times that by 200. So that's probably like what? Maybe $5-6 per unit. So that's $6 times 200. So that's going to be at least like $1,200.
1,200.
I would say 1,700 because it's fucking New York. But it was about like 1,700. And it was like locally it was like okay, we could fucking distribute this shit, but
Yeah.
international was like what the fuck. Afterwards, like what the fuck.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too. Like, it's easy for these bigger bands to like move 500 units or 1,000 units of their product, but like for bands like my stuff, or if like any of you dudes release some tunes, like moving 200 units, good luck. You're going to be sitting on 200 CDs for like 10 years. Like,
yeah.
I've still got like around 90 or 85 Rectal Depravity EPs just sitting there. They're probably going to be sitting there for years to come, like.
Yeah, I have legit worked with four or six bands that I did riffs to or play drums on.
Yeah.
And I just don't want none of it.
Fuck, huh?
Like, if I'm all into it for the rehearsal, and we could create music. If you want it, fucking take it, but don't fucking involve me. None of it in the creation part of it. I know that's bad on my part because a lot of my shit is probably getting used, but at the end of it, like I feel more the gratification part about it is like we get to play local shows and we get to do this and that. We get to hang out, and if you're gonna do the legwork, fuck you. You go do it, but I don't want none of it.
Yeah,
It
I feel you,
yeah.
man.
It's just at this point, it's not worth it. I'd rather play with a legit band. If you want to use my shit, by all means, use my shit. But don't, I'm just here for playing live. But don't, you can have my shit, but don't involve me in any other bullshit. Because it's just the legwork in it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'd rather do shit myself and do everything myself than to collaborate with a bunch of people because I know that shit always turns south. So I'd rather have good buds to collaborate music in. And if you want to use my shit, go the fuck ahead. But business wise, don't involve me into that shit because fuck it.
Yeah. Well, the best part about being in a band is jamming with your friends anyway and doing shows and just having fun. It really takes a certain type of person to be able to handle the business aspect and the promotion aspect and dealing with like record labels, even if they're like teeny labels and stuff like that. It takes effort trying to like move the product and make sure you're advertising every single day. Like, hey, we've got CDs available. Next day, hey, we've got CDs available. And then you get assholes that Jake runs into to be like, hey, don't spam me. Don't put like cold calls on me, and he's just trying to, promote his channel, like, and that would be the same thing for us in bands. We're just trying to, like run our business, that is our band and products and stuff like that. Like, and with the decline of CD sales and whatnot, it's really hard too, because you got to have the fans, but then you also got to have fans that are like, who have jobs, who are interested in collecting physical media, who support your band enough to choose your product over another band's product. Like, there's so much like legwork and stuff that you got to do to make being in a band as a business successful or even worth it. Because I've got a couple of projects right now that I could be making physical media for, but unless I see the interest via, Facebook support, or via, whatever, people saying they want it, I'm not going to bother, because I'll just be sitting on them for years.
Exactly. You know how many bands I've been involved in that I had to be the fucking enforcer to get us fucking paid? You know how fucking fucked up that is? You know, you go to play a show. At the end of the show, you give it your all. At the end of the show, you got to fucking beat the shit out of a promoter or do some shit just to get your ass fucking paid or get your dues owed, and everybody looking at you like, yo, what are you gonna do? I'm like, it's like, no, I don't like that shit. I really don't like that shit. And every time we had to do some sort of shit like that, it's always fell upon me to fucking correct some fucking body, and it's like it gets so fucking taxing. Playing live for a band is really awesome and shit, but
Yeah, man.
just to go through the motion to get to point A to point B, and having the rest of the band look at you like, all right, it's time to get us paid. Go, go handle this shit. I'm like, all right. You don't want to, but at the same time, it's like,
Yeah, you put in the effort, you put in your hour worth of set, you deserve to get paid. Your entertainment for the night, for the bar, and bringing in customers and paying customers, so you deserve to be paid for your time. Like, I don't. That's why I don't understand promoters that don't pay the bands. I've heard of so many promoters via other bands that I'm in contact with not paying them. I've heard of like I have a friend who's in a promotion company, and I hear other bands complaining about him. They're saying, "Oh yeah, so and so doesn't pay me. Good luck getting money out of him after a set." And I'm just thinking, like, man, how do you run a business like that? Like how, like, where is the communication going? Like, is it like, is the promoter telling these bands, oh, you're gonna get such and such tonight, and then at the end of the night they come to him, he's like, oh yeah, we didn't get paid, so I can't pay you. Like, is there like that lie there? Like, you're not getting, like, you saw 50 or 60 people enter the bar, you saw them get that little X or circle or question mark on their hand, or the wrist bracelet, you saw them pay the fucking the door guy, and you're telling the bands that there's no money for them that you promised them that night. Like, they're, like, I don't know how they can get around that kind of communication. Or is it just a lack of communication with the bands? Maybe he's like, hey, do you want to go on this bill? And then, like, that's the end of it. You hear from the promoter, and that's why you're not getting paid. Like, I don't understand, A, the lack of communication, or B, why the promoter doesn't think he has to pay these bands when he's already told them that they're going to get paid. Like,
well, usually if they have to see me, we're fucking getting paid. But when it comes to those deals, we countered that shit so many fucking times. We will show up to a venue early as fuck just to get fucking good parking, because parking is fucked up, and
yeah,
trying to move your equipment to a venue, and at the end of the night, it's like, I don't know what fucking happened. You don't get this. It's not that many people in the door. I'm like, no, 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 no. I saw you fucking put in this many people. I'm like, at least give us for fucking gas. Because at the end of the night, I know we go drunk as fuck. We drink outside because the beer inside is fucking mad expensive. So we bring our cooler so we could drink outside, so we could have a good time at least with our fucking fans or all the other bands and tailgating and all that other good shit. And that's the best part about it when you're in a band. It's like fucking getting to know the other bands and just fucking hanging out.
Yeah.
You play a show, however fucked up, the other bands get involved and start fucking with you, and that's it. That's the best part about it. But when venues do you wrong, it fucking pisses you off, and it brings you down to the certain mood that you're going there to meet other bands. You're like, oh shit, this band is fucking cool. We're playing with them tonight, fucking awesome. And you get to that point, but when a venue does you fucking wrong, doesn't even bother to give you drinks or some sort of at least fucking food.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, if they're not going to pay you for your time there, then at least compensate you with like beer tickets or something like that. Like, at least allow the members of the band to have a beer or two each to pay them for their time, and just be like, here, we don't have like money to give you, but like, here's a couple of beers on the house. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for entertaining our crowd, bringing in the patrons. Like, at least do that. And then there's these fucking venues who have the balls to tell you to pay to play. Like, you have to pay us in order to do a show here. Fuck no. And any bands who agrees to that are idiots. You never pay to play a show. They pay you.
Yeah, exactly. One time we got shafted for pretty much paid to play, and I think it was a band from Colombia. I think it was. It's like a brutal death metal band, really good. And we ended up doing that shit, and we ended up losing so fucking bad. But again, the experience was good, but it's like fuck that shit, because like at least give us for gas. But if we end up paying, we would never. Um, Again, when you get a big ticket ban from that from Colombia, especially from New York, you got a lot of Latino Americanos in New York. You got a whole diversity of people.
Yeah.
They're all going to go see that band, and being a local band, you have to sell so many tickets just to get your fucking foot in the door. It's like, oh fuck. And the fact that we showed up early just to find parking spot, because parking spot is fucked up, and just waiting just to get fucking nothing. Ugh.
No, that's balls, man. I don't think I would ever pay to play a show, and I don't think I would ever sell tickets to do a show either. Like, what the fuck is the point of being booked by a promotion company if they're not going to do the promoting? Like, that is what the fucking promotion is for. They're the ones that are supposed to be selling the tickets and getting shit moved to that way. Otherwise, you shouldn't be a promoter. If you don't know the ins and outs of what promoting is and bringing bands onto a bill is and how to pay them and how to move the product and how to sell the fucking tickets, then you shouldn't be a promoter. Or you should what's the term for that, when you go under the wing of another promoter and you learn that way?
Oh fuck.
Apprentice. It's kind of like an apprenticeship. You do a promoter apprenticeship and learn the tricks of the trade, and then start moving on your own stuff. Don't just. There's so many, well, not so many, but I'm sure there's tons of people that go, oh, I want to be a promoter. I'm going to type up a fancy fucking logo and a Facebook page, and I'm going to start booking shows with bands and acting like they know it all. Start like being a promoter around the area. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I definitely agree to that point, because once you start paying for just to play, I know that there's a band that I'm not gonna fucking mention, but We got what the fuck is this band called? Popular fucking band. We got fuck. Hold on, what's his name of this band? Swedish band, Amorphis.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a shot to play with Amorphis, but if we sold so many tickets, and we do not play exactly Amorphis style band, and if we say fuck it, we didn't play, and we got shunned from a lot of fucking venues because of that shit. Because at the same time, we play the band that I used to play in, we played on um death thrash, I guess you would call it.
Yeah.
So death thrash and Amorphis is like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Well,
Doesn't.
it depends. Like some people don't really have a preference for what metal they're into, and they'll like just chill and watch it anyways. But then there's some people that have multiple interests in genres like myself, like black metal, slam, thrash. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal for that kind of genre
Okay.
to be that label. But
Let's put it this way. We got Amorphis, death thrash, or Master, death thrash. Which would you choose?
Amorphous or Mastodon?
Master.
Oh, I'm not really a big fan of Master, or at least I wasn't when I listened to them. So I'd probably say Amorphous, but I don't know. I'll have to go back and listen to Master again. Anywho, man, we do got to get back on the topic. I know the other guys are wanting to talk about the bands with gimmicks and stuff like that, and talk about that before we shut down. Moving on, I guess, to that, what are some of your guys' thoughts on bands that have gimmicks such as masks, face paint, or costumes? We'll start with Jake.
When I think of face paint, I think of Dimmu Borgir, Kiss, pretty much any black metal band in general. I think personally, when a band has corpse paint, I think it symbolizes a persona to the band. I think they want to pay homage to the bands who inspired them to become musicians, just like how Mushroomhead wore a mask, Slipknot wore a mask, or Mudvayne, preferably their first album, LD50, great record by the way, where Chad Gray wore this dark blue, almost like tentacle-based mask when they did the video for Dig. I think it's pretty cool, but I think when it comes to certain bands who have like this personality of wearing mask or having corpse paint or face paint or wearing specific amount of clothing, it really identifies themselves to be what kind of music the listener will expect. I don't think it's a bad thing if a band wants to remain classified to their identity, so they don't want to share any publicity or any information involved regarding of a band's presentation or the music aspect. So I think it's 50-50 on most bands. Most bands can pull it off. Other bands should never do it in the first place. But to me personally, I think you have to look into it as a exemplified meaning of they're trying to do something that's already been done before, but they want to do it in their own creative way. So to me personally, I think it's 50-50. I don't see a problem people wearing corpse paint or mask or wearing jumpsuits or any sort of material that way. I think it's cool that a band is doing that just to give more of an identity. But other than that, I think it's cool, personally.
All right, cool. Thanks, Jake. What about you?
Of course.
What about you, Lord Husk? What is your opinion on bands and masks and whatnot?
Honestly, I mean, the 50-50 is a big thing depending on the bands themselves. I mean, coming from a guy who listens to both Mushroomhead and Slipknot and other bands who does corpse paint, Personally, I think the remaining identity would be the best part of the band. Um, Even if I do start my death thrash band, I've been thinking about that myself.
Oh
To
yeah.
be honest with you.
So you're
Um,
you're considering wearing face paint or masks or a costume?
More like a mask, yeah. Um,
Cool.
One specifically, I don't know yet. I'm just trying to get members still, but I'm thinking like doing like a jigsaw type themed mask.
So
Just
it's like the Gideon mask.
hmm
Cool. Cool.
But personally, my opinion on it, I think it is a great way to, because there's some bands out there that don't want to show their faces, which is understandable, and then there's some bands that look good in them and some bands that don't, you know. But personally, my opinion is certain metal genres should have masks and corpse paint, others shouldn't.
All right. Cool. So what about you, Azeg? What is your opinion on bands with gimmicks such as masks and face paint and costumes and such?
Yeah, I'm really pretty much in agreement with Jake on that, but in kind of different tiers. I love masks. I don't know. There's just an element of, I'm not really sure, suspense or whatever you want to call it with masks. When it comes to like corpse paint, I like really basic, minimal. I don't want to see that Karak Targan all over the place. You know, just like Belphegor, smear some blood on your face, you're good to go, that kind of stuff. But
Or Watain.
I'm just a firm believer in match your style to the gimmick. Like the first time I saw a Ghost music video, I was like, oh, this is gonna be fucking brutal, you know? It's like, this is gonna be some crazy black metal, and then they came out, they're like, yeah, you know, that shit. But yeah, just match the gimmick to the what you play. I mean, if you're gonna do corpse paint and you're gonna be in a black metal band, that's fine with me. Just don't overdo it just for viewership's sake. I mean, it's kind of like the religion thing we talked about. If that's what you believe, go for it, but just don't overdo it. In my opinion, just match it to what you are and who you are. But yeah, I'm all for it if it, like I said, if it matches the style.
Right. Fair enough. How about you, Trez? What's your opinion on that? I think your mic's muted, bud.
There you go.
There we go.
Hey, there you go.
You're right side up though.
All right. When we first talked about this, about bands using masks as gimmicks, the first band I thought about was the Berserker. I know that's a fucking extreme uh, band to think about, but I'm like, fuck yes, Berserker. You know, they have all these fucking cool ass masks, playing fucking brutal grindcore, awesome shit. Obviously, I thought about black metal afterwards, and the whole corpse paint about it. I do agree with Jangrath or whatever they call it,
Kark Gagrin.
Jack Gangre, whatever. Um, yeah, when it gets too much, it's like, oh, what the fuck? It's like Danny Filth right now. Um, It's like he went on the tour bus. He's like putting on his makeup. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, Danny Filth kind of looks like an emo jack-o'-lantern now.
Yeah, he's like, it kind of stuck to him. It's like, oh, this is what I'm going for right now. But as far as when you go back to it, there's Merciful Fate. You got Kiss. Is a slow progression into the whole gimmicky thing of Slipknot, Mushroom Head, and all that other shit. Um, I think it's cool as far as it's appropriate to the genre. And obviously, I think black metal is pretty awesome, and I love what black metal is doing right now. I don't know if it's a gimmick or whatever. It's just, because every black metal band, you have your full time job or band, and you can always have the fucking long hair and do all kinds of shit. But you could obscure your face, wear a hoodie like Magala does, and I think they fucking do it fucking awesomely. And depends on the genre and depends on the type of music you're trying to portray. as far as like brujeria from Mexico, which conceals their fucking face, wear like a ski mask and shit. I think it's cool, but it all depends on the genre and the type of persona you're trying to achieve. Like Corey Fisher, when Corey Fisher first came out, in his full fucking form, it was like, eh, but when he had the full face mask on for Slipknot, I was like, oh shit, pretty awesome.
You mean
So
Corey Taylor?
yeah, Corey Taylor or whatever the fuck is it. As you could tell, I'm not a Slipknot fan, so I'm like, yeah, whatever.
It's all good, man. So yeah, I think gimmick isn't a bad thing either. I know some people are like, "Oh, I hate bands with gimmicks. Gimmicks are stupid." Well, gimmick isn't a bad thing. I got the definition pulled up here. Gimmick is a trick or device intended to attract attention for publicity or business reasons. It's another word of saying shtick too. A lot of people think a shtick is a bad thing, but it's not. It's just a way to attract attention or promoting your band in a unique way.
It's like talking about Slayer right now. God hates us all, even though Tom Araya is like a full-fledged Christian apparently. So it's a gimmick in every sense of the word.
Yeah, so being satanic is Slayer's shtick or gimmick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool, man. My opinion on bands with masks or costumes or face paint, or et cetera, et cetera. If you've seen my old, like a really really old Jesse Talks Metal episode, bands that wear masks, I'm very pro theatricality and bands with things other than just a T-shirt and jeans kind of gimmick thing, because it's kind of been done to death. But I will say right off the bat that your band definitely needs to have direction and talent first. If you've got direction and talent, that's great, and you'll be enjoyed. And then if you also include a theatrical element like masks or face paint, etc., that's just kind of like a bonus to me, because then it's something even cooler to look at. And especially if you're one of those bands that every album switched up a bit, you kind of upgrade your masks or upgrade your costume or do something different with your face paint. That's kind of even neater, because then you're like, oh well, not only is this band coming out with a new album and music that I like, they're also coming up with a new aesthetic too. So it's kind of like, oh, I wonder what they're going to do this time around. So it kind of adds that mystery and intrigue level. And when you're seeing bands live, it's even better, because once again, we've all seen bands that either wear all leather, all black leather, or they wear just like a band T-shirt and like maybe some ripped denim jeans, and you're like, okay, yeah, I've seen that a million times too. But there's not a heck ton of bands that wear entire wardrobes of costuming or elaborate face paint or DIY constructed masks, and can still play their instruments really really well while doing it and while wearing stuff like that. So that's kind of neat, and I definitely wouldn't mind seeing more bands incorporate that to make them more unique. There's a lot of bands that are in nu metal that do that, like Slipknot, Mushroomhead, Mudvayne, and stuff like that.
Or new school thrash metal bands.
Old school thrash metal bands?
New school thrash metal bands.
Yeah. So like Ghoul or
Power Trip.
Or Dr. Living Dead.
Yeah, exactly. Because some of those new school thrash metal bands didn't have the Nike shoes, didn't have those denim, jeans and all that other shit. But then they're like these young kids playing that new school thrash metal band that you're like, oh, what the fuck.
But yeah, so what are some of your favorite bands that use these types of gimmicks? Maybe start with Jake.
For their attire purposes?
Well, just what are some of your favorite bands that use like masks or face paint or costuming?
Oh, Septic Flesh, Dark Funeral, Summoning, Nightbringer, Beastie Arcana, Crypts, um, Amon Amarth, even though they're more like a Nordic type of band, but they wear like the spice bracelet, and they wear the Magillidord amulets, and they wear like the long hair, typical kind of Norse mythology look. I like that kind of style.
Yeah, they wear Viking costuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another great example is I really like the way Butashka is wearing their outfits. It's very methodoc, very spirituality-esque style, which people shit on them for that, but I think it's fucking cool. I like their style of music.
Yeah, Batushka is fucking awesome.
Yeah. If you guys never heard Butashka, please check them out. Great black metal band. But anywho, yeah, Septic Flesh, Flesh God, Nightbringer, just just that kind of style I like.
So you like the more like corpse paint style of stuff, and like
I like the
black metal themed kind of things.
yeah, I like more of the like the occultist, ritualistic, and methodoc style of appeal for metal. That's what I'm into.
Cool, nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, what about you, Lord Husk? What are some of your favorite gimmick themed bands?
Well, there's only one band member who wears it, and you definitely know who I'm about to talk about. When I went to see anyone else wearing, but the band Doyle, the guitarist only is the one that's like corpse paint and stuff, which to me is unique because horror punk was not meant for corpse paint. To be honest with you, not from what I've seen, but way he does like that Frankenstein type of corpse paint is unique to me. Slipknot and Mushroom Head being with the masks and their recent album, their last album before they're going to make another one, where they had Jeffrey Nothing in some type of costume. I forgot what he was wearing, but he had a mask that was like hand shaped. You had Waylon, who had the 3/4 mask, and then J-Man with wherever the hell the mask he was wearing. Those were pretty awesome. Other than that, like there are some black metal bands I listen to, like I know they're not considered black metal, but like older Cradle of Filth, specifically oh my god, Godspeed on Devil's Thunder, that album.
Yeah.
That corpse thing was pretty cool. Other than that, not really many bands I listen to that have that, other than Ghoul and stuff, but or Midnight, yeah, them too, as well. So
Yeah, Midnight, good band. Good band.
I like to get a band shirt from them whenever I get a job.
Yeah, they're pretty good. The mask they use is just kind of like a thin, kind of like Morse suit black mask, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's still interesting though, because it's very rare.
Well, I think that's the whole thing now. And besides using corpse paint, I think it's a black hood, which is represents obviously death, and that you could have this your whole image obscure, which is I think really represents the way black metal and death metal or occult death metal is nowadays. That you could have your whole regular self, but when you go play live, you put on this mask and just play pure black metal shit. Doesn't matter the fucking face paint you have or the fucking color that you have on, but it's just like pure obscure your face and just it's all about the music. At this point, I think it's all about the fucking music, the way you play your music, especially black metal. That's why I think that all these other bands have these hoods on, just to obscure the fact that It doesn't give a shit about the mask or the corpse thing you have on. It's just about the music and the way you play your instruments. And to me, that's the whole. I don't even know if it's a fucking gimmick. If it is, I don't give a shit about. But it's about the raw fucking emotion and the fucking passion when you have about at least these black metal bands that I think that's fucking awesome and I totally fucking love.
Yeah, I hear you saying, man. You're saying that the gimmick or the corpse paint, I guess, in the black metal case, it helps the artists really like, hone in and tune into their music and really kind of harness their inner emotions and really help use that as a way to bring it out even better. Because I know Corey Taylor and Clown were saying like whenever they put on that mask, whoever they were before that disappears, and it's just Slipknot, and it's just who they are, and that helps them bring out their rage and their emotion and their energy on stage, etc.
Yeah, but what I think is at least now in the form of black metal, you could have these fucking awesome guitarists, not have fucking long hair and wail on their fucking instruments and look all fucking awesome and shit. But you could fucking just black out your face and wear a hood and just be a fucking normal dude, just being fucking playing your fucking instrument, and that's all they should care about. At least in black metal, the main instrument is not your fucking face; it's your fucking instrument and the fucking attitude. So if you could black that shit out and just focus in the instrument, I think that's fucking the most raw shit you could get. Besides the fucking corpse paint and the fucking mask.
Yeah, cool, man. We just got a super chat in from my life as a death metal drummer's wife, and
Hey,
she says
Hey,
she says she was raised on Iron Maiden and stuff like that, and kind of enjoys everything. So that's cool. I know a lot of people kind of got introduced to metal via bands like Iron Maiden or other new wave of British heavy metal bands and stuff like that. So it's a pretty common thing to see that people still listen to that kind of stuff, even though they've grown and kind of moved on their musical journeys. But yeah, I think a lot of people got into metal via bands like Iron Maiden and stuff. It's cool that you, drummer's wife, or Jennifer, or yeah, was it Jennifer? No, Jessica, and you, Jessica, are into like everything as well, not just kind of like the typical kind of classic metal stuff. So it's always neat to know that there are females in the metal community that don't just enjoy like the classic stuff, but also enjoy like the brutal stuff like death metal and black metal, etc. So thanks for sending that in, Jessica. Really appreciate that. Azeg, what are your thoughts on, or sorry, what are your favorite bands that use gimmicks?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really into, especially for black metal, black and death, that kind of stuff. I'm into that kind of like what Jake was talking about, that ritualistic look, more like those monk style robes. So bands, like Terrorism in the U.S., they do a really good job. They wear their robes and their hoods, and maybe paint the bottom half of their face because you really can't see anything else. I'm really into that. I think it builds more of a not really shock factor, but more of an ominous feel to it. It's more creepy to me. Bands like Belphegor, I think they do a pretty good job with not going too far with their paint. Like I said, he might just smear some gray and then put a bloody handprint. That's pretty simple. I know the couple bands I played in years ago, we did just a robe. I mean, it doesn't have to be crazy. It's kind of what Trez was talking about. It's all about the stage presence and what it actually sounds like to me. But early Cradle of Filth, I think Danny's look was pretty good early on. It was really simple, just a couple of lines on his face. Astaroth Incarnate is another good one.
hey, I love those guys.
Like a blacked out
Love
face
those-
with some like
love those
red
guys.
or paint, some shit like that. And one of the best ones I've ever seen is a band that's not well known. They were called Fetus Omelet.
What?
And they would just come dressed up like these bloody ass doctors with like body parts all over them and shit. They're a local band when I lived in Lansing, Michigan. Awesome shit. But I mean, their talent matched the attire. I mean, they were just brutal as shit. But yeah, they just look like these crazy abortion doctors out there, just bloody as shit. I mean, as long as it matches, it's all good.
That's great.
I think of Exhume when you told me the description of it because they have the fucking chainsaw guy swatting blood on the stage.
There's two bands, Thanatos, and there's another band from grindcore band that all about Thanatos is about all about the exhumation part. So they're all dressed in like fucking coroner's robes.
Nice.
But there's this one band, I fucking forget the band. They're legit uh medical doctors, and they play like fucking Carcass, and they're legit fucking medical doctors.
Is it Hemorrhage?
No. Hemorrhage from Spain, but no. They're I'm gonna post this band somewhere out there, but they're legit all medical doctors, and all their shit is like fucking grindcore, like Hemorrhage slash Carcass, but really fucking good. But I'm gonna try to post that name out there later on. But really
throw it in
fucking
the
good.
Rebellion. Yeah, throw it in the Rebellion later if you want.
Yeah, definitely.
What about you, Jesse?
Man, there's so many good bands that have masks and shit. Since everyone basically just cock-rid black metal, I'm gonna go different way here. You stole my damn thing, but no. I like bands that are kind of basically like in the vein of like what Trez said, like Berserker. Like they're fucking great. They kind of don't play the usual music that you hear when it comes to bands that actually use like costumes and like full-on mask. That's really neat stuff. There's also kind of like this industrial metal band called The Underlined, and they use like masks, and then they've got like black and blue outfits with like paint splashed all over them, and each member has like a different kind of mask. One's like, sort of like a gas mask, another one kind of looks like Sub-Zero, another one looks like Bane, but like it's all black and blue themed color band. It's really neat. I still need to get a couple of their albums, like Dead Time Stories and Altruism and stuff like that. I follow H7, which is the main guy from The Underlined on Instagram and Facebook. He's always selling different masks and stuff like that, even replicas of his old masks from the Underlined band. He's in a new band right now. I can't remember what the fuck it's called. I think it starts with a Z. Zula, Zaza, something. I don't know. I'll have to look it up again. But bands like that are pretty cool. I like your typical stuff like Mushroom Head and Slipknot. I don't really listen to them too much. I think Mushroom Head's coming out with a new album soon, if not already. But that's kind of cool stuff. I'm not really big into Gwar. I have a couple of their albums, or had. I don't know if I still have them or not. But yeah, it's kind of neat. There's the whole idea of bands just bringing theatricality and just a neat visual presence to the stage really impresses me. Actually, one it's actually in slam and a little bit of brutal death metal is Vomitory or Vomitology. Actually, they kind of dress in coveralls and masks. They're kind of been labeled as the Slipknot of slam. I think it's a little oversimplified label that people have thrown on them, but they do have an outfit and masks that look, sort of similar. I mean, if you look at them, you'd probably be hard pressed not to go, oh, Slipknot. But besides that kind of immature mindset, they're actually really talented slam brutal death metal artists who just happen to also wear masks and coveralls. So definitely check them out. There's also another band they're like gore grind, I
Go
think.
relax. Go relax. Go relax.
No, not them. Fuck. I can't remember it. Obstetric human something or other. Yeah, I can't remember. They're like a gore grind band though, basically, and they got pretty neat masks and stuff. There's like one with a burlap sack on his head. There's another one that has sort of prison face guard mask, sort of like a cross between a Bane mask and a Hannibal Lecter mask. But yeah, no, I have quite a bit of different bands I enjoy like that. But then obviously black metal artists with the corpse paint is really neat, or bands that kind of look like evil monks, or you know, wear like wizard type robes and blood and crosses and those like balls filled with sensey stuff that.
So you're talking about necromancers then?
I don't know, just whatever. I think it's like anointing oils and mists that come in like those little ball things that priests like.
Oh, the sensor, the little sensor on the chain.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
BX.
You'd see Batushka doing it,
Yeah.
but yeah. But then there's the black metal bands that are kind of like black and grind. I know some of them wear those black morph suits with just kind of like a hood up. That's kind of neat too. I've seen bands that use like bondage masks on stage and stuff like that. But yeah, Gutalax is good. Rompa Prop is good.
Yeah.
Fuck, there's another one.
Cock blow torture. No.
Yeah, they use bondage masks, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spasm.
Spasm was really good too. Yeah.
Let's see. Brujeria from Mexico.
I always pronounce that Brujeria, but that's probably wrong. Yeah, they're a band that I need to get back into. I remember listening to them fucking back in 2008, like really really old album of theirs. But yeah, they're good too.
Yeah, good shit. Mix of Napalm Death and the fucking Criminal from Chile. Yeah, good shit.
Yeah, and then there's that band that the bassist or the guitarist, I can't remember whoever, the guy that's kind of chubby and has the big long beard from Static X. He's in another band called, I think,
Asesino.
So good. Love that band.
Fucking good. Yeah, hell yeah. He was in Static X, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Good shit.
They're actually trying to bring Static X back somehow. I don't know how.
It's a fucking hologram or some fucking shit. It's like so fucking cringy.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, it
Be honest with you.
It already happened because I just saw a video today that is like.
Oh no! I didn't mean that way. I don't think the band should continue after Static X or Wayne Static passed.
I mean, they're already re-recording Wisconsin Death Trip with the original lineup, but they have a bunch of guest singers coming on. It's already a thing.
What?
It's like Max Calero with friends, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. This band.
Pass. Hard pass.
I love Static X and all, but I don't see them going further. I can't.
I mean,
because that's the original vocalist in it.
Yeah, well, they definitely shouldn't call it Static X, whatever they do next. Like the people in the band that wasn't Wayne can move on and make a band together. They just shouldn't call it Static X. They should call it something else. Like,
you know, I'm actually wondering if they're doing it in his memory, to be honest with you.
Oh, I'm sure that's the way they feel they're doing it. I'm sure they feel like they're doing it in honor of Wayne and in tribute to him and all that. But I don't know. Like, how does the wife feel about all this? You know?
I think she actually committed suicide too.
She died.
Oh yeah.
No. Oh, really?
Yeah, I think she.
Yeah, she died.
Didn't she die before Wayne?
Yes.
I think so. Either that or
Yeah,
after.
idiot.
It's one of them two.
Don't mind me. I'm dumb.
No, you're good.
No, it's not being dumb. It's just not many people know about that.
Well, I mean, when you're a biggest fan of Static X as I should have remembered that. But it's been years since I was like obsessed with Static X. So
I still listen to his music. I have to say my all-time favorite song from them was "Cold."
Cold's good. I like Shadow Zone better. Not the song, but the album.
But seeing that it's like Halloween and shit. What's the one song that you guys would tend to listen to, being that it's like Halloween?
Oh shit!
Love You to Death by Typo Negative for me.
Good shit.
Huge Typo
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have to go with albums.
Well,
I have to go with the Abominator album and As We Die album from Doyle. Especially
a non-metal album for me would probably be the Halloween EP by A Fire Inside.
Huh.
AKA AFI.
Oh Jesus! I totally forgot about that band.
I do too. I've lost interest in them after December Underground.
Anything after December Underground is garbage. Like
that's what I've been told.
Like the first 3 albums are straight up punk, and then they moved over to like emo-y metalcore, post metalcore, whatever the fuck. And then after that, it was just pure garbage. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, but hey, they make more money than I do, so whatever. Yeah, I don't know. For metal, I don't know what really to say for Halloween specifically.
Oh fuck! feel like a douche right now because all you guys, picked nice, I guess, songs, I guess. But for me, it would be "Dead by Dawn" by DSI.
There you go.
Sorry.
I also wanted to include this because I love this album so much. It's one of my all-time favorites growing up as a kid. But Sinister Urge Rob Zombie, excellent release. Love this album. I mean,
I just got done listening to one of his live albums on. I have the they re-recorded Astro Creep 2000 with his current live band. Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
There's a good one.
So what's your favorite?
Huh?
What's your favorite what?
Oh, I guess.
I'm confused.
Halloween type.
Man, that's actually a really hard question. I was hoping you weren't going to ask me. I would say, early Deicide, early Cradle of Filth, songs like Dusk in Her Embrace, shit like that.
Yeah.
It's got that creepy, eerie vibe to it, but it's good. It's before they got kind of trashy, in my opinion.
Yeah, fuck yes. Yeah. Dusk in Her Embrace is fucking awesome.
Some good slam for Halloween.
I honestly have to say, Ace.
Statement decomposition.
I've been needing to check them out.
Stuff.
Faces of Decomposition. Nice.
Yep.
They're on. Aren't they on Gorehouse Productions?
Yes, sir.
I've been hearing good things about them.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Hey, Jesse.
Yo.
I have a special guest that wants to say hi.
Is it Shay?
Yes.
Well, tell her to come in and say hi, and then we gotta cut this thing down because it's like already almost past 11.
How long have you been live?
Hi.
2 hours?
Yeah, 2 hours now.
Shit.
Hi, Shay. How are you?
Tim back. I'm good. How are you?
Good. I wish you're coming in clearer.
Oh, yeah. His phone's kind of blurry.
Because that damn light up there.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on. Whoa, it's on the charger.
Yeah.
Is it dead?
About that.
That's a little better.
There we go. There we go.
So, how are you enjoying Lord Huck's company so far?
Good.
Has
Well,
you been
I'm getting ready to go. I'm getting ready to go to Wendy's. So,
nice? Are you getting the nightmare burger?
huh?
Are you getting the nightmare burger?
I could try. You can come with if you want. Yeah, me too. You got pizza rolls. I don't have shit.
Now I want a baconator. God damn
I do
it.
too.
All right, guys. Here's him back.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to cut short,
The
you
chalk
can.
frosty on that though.
That might be the last you can use your card. At least
Azak knows what's up.
My dad only
I'm one of those weirdos. I dip my fries in my frosty.
Hey, I do it too. It's so good.
Hey, hold up. I didn't ask all you to be talking about putting French fries and frosties. Jesus Christ, guys, come on now. Come back, and this is the shit I get. Damn.
Sorry.
I don't know. As soon as we're done, my ass going to Wendy's. That's for sure.
Yeah, your friend gets on here. Now we all want meat.
You all want fucking bacon eaters.
Jesus Christ, here we go. Oh shit.
Hey, guys, that's I think we ran all out of time now. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks to Shay for making us all have the munchies now. Appreciate everyone in the chat joining us. Hope you've enjoyed our opinions on gimmick themed bands. Hopefully maybe we've mentioned a few bands you guys could go check out if you're interested in. Thanks again to My Life as a Death Metal Drummer's Wife for the super chat. Really appreciate the support. And of course, thanks to the Rebellion panel down here for appearing and helping out with the stream, sharing your thoughts and opinions. You guys are fucking awesome. Love every one of you dudes. You made my fucking night as usual. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed. I'm not sure when the next Sinister Sunday is gonna be. I think it's not on any weird day. I don't think it's anywhere near Halloween or anything like that. So it should be as scheduled. If not, you'll see an update like you did earlier today when it's gonna be. So looking forward to that. And that's it. For glory, for the rebellion. Sinister Sunday over.